At 11:48 p.m., a man walked into a small police station in rural Pennsylvania and calmly said, "I need to report a murder." The officer behind the desk asked the obvious question, "Who was killed?" The man swallowed, then replied, "I don't know her name yet, but it will happen tomorrow night." The man with the envelope, the man identified himself as Daniel Reeves, 34 years old, no criminal record, no drugs or alcohol in his system, no visible signs of distress. He carried a thin manila envelope under his arm. Inside it were photos, crime scene photos. The officer assumed they were fake, printed from the internet, until he saw the last image, a woman lying face down on a kitchen floor, blood pooled beneath her head, and on the refrigerator behind her was tomorrow's date. Why police didn't laugh. This off, Daniel wasn't panicking, that he wasn't dramatic. He spoke like someone filing a noise complaint. He told officers he had received the envelope that morning, slipped under his apartment door. No return address, no fingerprints. Just 3 typed words on the front. "You can stop this." Inside the envelope was a handwritten note. "This woman will die at 9:22 p.m. tomorrow. That if you tell anyone, it will happen sooner." Daniel waited 12 hours before coming to police. Not because he didn't care, but because he thought it was a sick joke, until he noticed something. The detail that changed everything. In one of the photos, barely visible in the corner, was a reflection in a microwave door. A man holding the camera, wearing a dark hoodie, and on his wrist, a distinctive triangular tattoo. Daniel rolled up his sleeve. He had the same tattoo. Same shape, same location, same scar beneath it. The room went silent. Daniel's past. Daniel Reeves had a history, not of violence, but of sleepwalking. Since childhood, he had been found wandering outside at night, standing in empty rooms, holding objects he didn't remember picking up. At 1819, he woke up driving his car on a highway shoulder, engine running. Doctors diagnosed him with parasomnia, a rare sleep disorder. He was medicated, stable. Or so he thought. Surveillance begins. Police took the threat seriously, not because they believed in time travel or psychic warnings, but because Daniel could be dangerous to himself or others. They put him under quiet surveillance. Unmarked cars. No explanation. They asked him to hand over his phone. No suspicious messages. No drafts. No deleted photos. Nothing. But at 3:11 a.m. that night, while Daniel slept, his phone unlocked itself and began recording video. The video Daniel never remembered recording. The footage showed Daniel sitting on the edge of his bed, eyes open, unblinking. He spoke directly to the camera. In a flat, emotionless voice, he said, "You went to the police. That was a mistake." Then he smiled, not Daniel's usual nervous smile. Something colder, something practiced. The address appears at 6:42 a.m. Daniel received another envelope. This one had an address .214 Willow Creek Lane. Police ran it. A single mother lived there with her 8-year-old daughter. Her name was Laura Mitchell. No criminal record, no connection to Daniel, no restraining orders, no shared workplace. Nothing. She was an elementary school librarian. Police protect the house. Evening. Officers were positioned around Laura's home. Marked units, unmarked units, plainclothes officers inside. Laura was told there was a security concern. She was frightened, but cooperative. 18:09 p.m. Everyone relaxed slightly. 18:15 p.m. Officers checked their watches. 18:22 p.m. The time mentioned in the note. Nothing happened. No screams, no movement, just silence. Then an officer's radio crackled. Daniel was missing. The surveillance team outside Daniel's apartment reported he was gone. The front door had never opened. The windows were locked, but Daniel was not inside. His bed was empty. The sheets were cold, and on his bathroom mirror, written in steam that had already begun to fade, were 4 words: you're watching the wrong house. The real crime scene at 9:31 p.m. Dispatch received a call from a neighbor, not from Willow Creek Lane, from an address 3 miles away that a woman was screaming. When police arrived, they found Laura Mitchell, alive, unharmed. But the woman at the other address was dead, stabbed once. Time of death: 9:22 p.m. Her name was Rachel Hines, and she looked exactly like Laura. Same hair, same build, same age. They could have been sisters. The final envelope Daniel was found the next morning, asleep in his apartment. No injuries, no blood, no weapon, no memory. On his nightstand sat one final envelope. Inside was a single photo. Daniel, asleep in his own bed, taken from above. On the back, written in careful handwriting: "I told you the truth. You just didn't understand it." The psychological explanation experts later concluded that Daniel suffered from dissociative parasomnia, a condition so rare that fewer than 50 cases have been documented in extreme stress. His mind created a second identity, point one, that was awake when he wasn't point one that planned, point one that remembered. But here's what science couldn't explain. Daniel's phone GPS showed him at 2 locations at once that night: point one signal near his apartment, point one near the murder scene. Both active, both confirmed. The case is closed. On paper, Daniel was committed to a psychiatric facility. No trial, no conviction, no answers. The public was told it was a tragic mental health case. Most people moved on, but one detective didn't. The detective's discovery 6 months later. Detective Aaron Cole reviewed old evidence. He noticed something no one else had. The first envelope Daniel received had a postmark, dated 2 days after the murder, which meant the envelope warning about the crime was mailed after it happened. The last question: if Daniel didn't send the envelopes, if the crime photos were taken by someone else, and if the warning arrived from the future, then who was trying to stop the murder? And why did they fail? Because sometimes the most terrifying part of a true crime story isn't the killer, it's the possibility that someone tried to warn us and we just didn't listen.